Welcome! The Philippines, an archipelago of more than 7,000 islands, is often described as a paradise of white beaches and endless smiles. Yet, behind its tropical beauty lies a country full of contrasts, where splendor and struggle coexist. Today, we'll uncover the 15 darkest sides of the Philippines, a journey through hidden truths and controversial traditions. Number 15. Marriage with no escape. There are only two places in the world where divorce is illegal: Vatican City and the Philippines. But unlike the Vatican, where almost no one marries, here millions of women remain trapped in marriages they cannot legally leave. The only way out is through annulment, a slow, expensive, and complex process that can take years and cost between $10,000 and $20,000, an impossible sum for most families. According to the 2022 census, nearly 18% of women have suffered physical or emotional abuse from their partners. Yet, even in cases of violence, many have no choice but to stay. It's a cruel destiny that imprisons those who can't afford freedom, while the law preaches faith but forgets justice. In a country that praises family love, these women live in silence, forced to share their lives with the very people who hurt them, condemned by a morality that punishes instead of protecting. Number 14. When even the police fear the police. In Manila's darkest neighborhoods, there are areas so dangerous that even officers refuse to enter alone. The country lives under a chilling paradox. Safety is entrusted to a system where corruption and abuse of power are widespread. In just the first 7 months of 2022, over 6,600 serious crimes were recorded, more than 30 per day, and 92 of them involved police officers themselves. Many citizens now speak of unreportable crimes, unsure of whom they can trust. Some districts have installed cameras and created special tourist police units, yet fear remains. In Manila, the threat isn't just violence. It's not knowing which side of the law is on. Still, amid scandals and suspicion, thousands of honest officers risk their lives daily to protect civilians. Their silent fight represents the most dignified face of a nation still trying to believe in justice. Number 13. Fake love and tourist nightmares. Under the Philippine sun, among smiles and promises, countless foreign tourists believe they've found love. But often behind that sweetness hides a well-organized deception: the fake romance industry. In cities like Cebu, Angeles, and Subic, young men and women pretend to fall in love to obtain gifts, money, or credit cards. A 2023 survey found that about 18% of male tourists lost money or possessions through brief relationships. Most discover the truth only when their partner vanishes, taking everything possible. These scams are so common, they are jokingly called smile scams. In a country where emotion is a universal language, the line between affection and fraud is thin. Those deceived often feel not only anger, but deep sadness for having believed, even for a moment, yet the love was real. Number 12. Asia's most terrifying cuisine. Eating in the Philippines is an experience that tests your limits. Here, food isn't just nourishment, it's a challenge of bravery. The country's most iconic dish is balut, a fertilized duck egg containing a developed embryo, sold as a nighttime snack on Manila's streets. Filipinos eat it with salt, vinegar, and beer, consuming more than 600 million each year. For many tourists, the first bite brings more shock than pleasure. Am I really eating an unborn duckling? They wonder. But balut is only the beginning. In Davao, you can try crocodile meat, nicknamed prehistoric chicken, while in rural Luzon, field rats are still roasted as traditional dishes from famine times. This cuisine, born of creativity and survival, tells the story of a people who learned to turn hunger into heritage. For Filipinos, daring to taste everything is a way of honoring their culture. Number 11. Manila, the capital of extreme inequality. Nowhere is the gap between wealth and poverty more visible than in Manila. A short drive separates the glittering skyscrapers of Makati, filled with luxury restaurants and imported cars, from Tondo's slums, where thousands live among trash and metal roofs. 35% of the city's residents inhabit rundown areas, often without clean water or sanitation. In Tondo, families cram into spaces the size of a closet, while children play near train tracks or blackwater canals. Nearby lies Happy Land from Hapilan, meaning stinking garbage. Here, people survive by scavenging waste, cooking leftovers, and reselling them as pagpag. The contrast is brutal. Just meters from restaurants where a meal costs $100, others live on less than one a day. Yet even in misery, Filipinos keep smiling, sharing what little they have with disarming generosity. Number 10. When hospitality turns into a trap. The Philippines is known as one of the world's most welcoming nations, but sometimes kindness hides a scheme. In Manila, many tourists learn quickly that a taxi ride can turn into a survival test. According to the Department of Tourism, over 40% of visitors have been overcharged for short trips, like the ride from the airport to downtown, which costs $8 but is often billed at $30. Some drivers fake meter malfunctions, extend routes, or add foreigner fees. The government has imposed fines and hotlines for complaints, yet scams persist. Ironically, many of these drivers aren't criminals but struggling fathers trying to make ends meet in a city where fuel prices rise while wages stay flat. Behind the famous Filipino hospitality lies a harsher truth: the daily battle to survive on just a few dollars a day. Number 9. The tragedy of the sea nomads. For centuries, the Bajau, known as the Sea Gypsies, lived upon the Philippine waters, diving up to 60 meters deep and moving from island to island. The ocean was their home, identity, and freedom. But that life is vanishing. Pollution, industrial fishing, and climate change have destroyed their ecosystem, forcing many to migrate to cities. In Manila and Cebu, Bajau families now beg or sell trinkets on the streets. Once masters of the sea, they survive today amid traffic and smog, forgotten by a nation that treats them as folklore. Anthropologists call them cultural refugees, symbols of a civilization sinking under modern progress. To see a Bajau begging beside a shiny mall is to witness the silent defeat of a people who once belonged entirely to the sea. Number 8. The mystery of the missing relief funds. Each year, the Philippines faces about 20 destructive typhoons. But what often shocks most isn't nature's power. It's the disappearance of relief money. After 2013's Typhoon Haiyan, millions of dollars in aid went missing, and hundreds of containers filled with supplies never reached victims. Investigations exposed a corrupt network where officials turned tragedy into profit. According to Transparency International, the Philippines scores only 33 out of 100 for corruption perception. Scandals like the pastillas scam, bribes hidden in candy wrappers to allow unchecked entry of Chinese tourists, and the PhilHealth fraud, where billions of pesos vanished from the National Health Fund, have rocked the nation. Many foreign NGOs now deliver aid directly to avoid theft. Out of every $100 donated to a typhoon victim, barely 30 reach their hands, the rest lost in a maze of bureaucracy and greed. Number 7. Forgotten single mothers. In the United States, nearly 40% of children are born to single mothers, a status often met with respect. But in the Philippines, being a single mom is still seen as shameful. In a deeply Catholic country where over 80% of citizens follow the church, women raising children alone are branded as sinners. Many lose jobs, are denied housing, or even shunned by family. According to the Philippine Commission on Women, over 14 million mothers face this reality, often abandoned by foreign tourists who left them pregnant and penniless. Their children, labeled illegitimate, are denied full rights, sometimes even the father's surname or inheritance. In a nation that glorifies family values, these women bear the weight of poverty and prejudice. Yet, through quiet resilience, they embody the truest strength of the Filipino spirit. Number 6. Boracay, the paradise that stank. Today, Boracay sparkles again with white sand and turquoise water. But few remember that in 2018, it was shut down for 6 months due to pollution. The president called it a cesspool, as hotels discharged sewage straight into the sea. Over 2 million yearly tourists had turned a natural paradise into an ecological disaster. The sewage system collapsed, coral reefs died, and locals were evicted to make room for luxury resorts. After its forced closure, the government imposed strict limits: no more than 19,000 tourists per day and a total ban on beach parties. The island is cleaner now, but many say it lost its free soul, the spirit that once earned it the title Key West of Asia. Boracay's story became the perfect symbol of profit versus preservation, a paradise sacrificed to mass tourism, reborn, but never the same. Number 5. Mindanao, the forgotten land. Mindanao, the Philippines' second-largest island, is a green gem of volcanoes, forests, and untouched beaches. Yet, behind its wild beauty lies a history of war, poverty, and neglect. Once nicknamed the California of the Philippines for its rich resources, today it's a region many Filipinos avoid. For decades, conflict between separatists and government forces left ruined cities and hundreds of thousands displaced. Marawi, once known as the Venice of the South, was flattened in 2017 and still bears the scars. Only 1% of foreign tourists venture there, calling it a beautiful yet unstable paradise. Despite that, Mindanao holds immense potential. Gold mines, cacao farms, breathtaking landscapes. Locals still dream that peace will restore their land's lost dignity, and that one day the world will remember it not for its pain, but for its pure, untamed beauty. Number 4. A brown nation, dreaming of white skin. The Philippines is a land of radiant bronze tones, yet here, skin color often defines worth. The legacy of Spanish colonization and Western beauty ideals has fueled an obsession with whiteness. Step into any supermarket, and half the cosmetic shelves are filled with whitening creams, soaps, and serums. This market is worth over $500 million annually, and every ad repeats the same message: white is beautiful. Many darker-skinned Filipinas feel undervalued or struggle to secure better-paying jobs. It's a striking paradox. While Westerners spend fortunes tanning, Filipinos spend theirs trying to look lighter. Beauty, instead of uniting, becomes a cage. In a society where color can shape destiny, true change must begin in the mirror. Number 3. The world's most social media-obsessed nation. If there were a trophy for online activity, the Philippines would win it effortlessly. Each citizen spends over 4 hours a day online, and more than half the country uses TikTok. In a young nation with low income levels, digital fame is seen as a ticket to a better life. 20-year-olds dream of becoming influencers rather than graduates, and many pay videographers to produce viral clips. But behind the fun dances and laughter hides a fragile reality. A single algorithm change can wipe out thousands of livelihoods overnight. Some risk their lives for views, joining dangerous challenges. It's the modern face of a nation where dreams move faster than stability, and fame has become the new currency. In the Philippines, the connection isn't just virtual, it's the hope of escaping real-world poverty through digital success. Number 2. A country sustained by its immigrants. Over 10 million Filipinos work abroad. Nurses in New York, sailors in the Indian Ocean, domestic workers in the Middle East. Known as OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, they are the backbone of the national economy, sending home more than $36 billion each year, nearly 10% of the country's GDP. But behind those figures lies a human cost. Millions of families live apart for years. Children grow up knowing their parents only through video calls. Some marriages collapse under the strain of distance. Economists call it the remittance paradox. Money sustains the economy, while family bonds disintegrate. Migration becomes both blessing and curse, a path to survival, but also an emotional wound that never heals. The Philippines thrives on the sacrifices of its distant sons and daughters. Yet the price is a loneliness no currency can repay. Number 1. The weakest education in Asia. The Philippines boasts a high literacy rate, but behind the numbers lies a broken education system. 91% of 10-year-olds cannot read or understand a simple passage. In the 2018 PISA tests, Filipino students ranked last worldwide in reading, math, and science. Ironic for a nation fluent in English. During the pandemic, online learning deepened the divide. Millions lacked computers or stable internet, while the country's connection remains among the slowest and most expensive in Asia. In rural areas, entire classes rely on faded photocopies and underpaid teachers. In a place where education should be the way out of poverty, it's become a wall separating dreams from reality. As the world races toward the future, an entire generation risks being left behind, trapped in a system that no longer teaches them to hope. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next content. See you soon for more adventures and curiosities.